We've got a lot to talk about today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, to start with, we're looking at more Booga-type spheres, or at least one more Booga-type sphere. This one, I believe, in Colombia. Check out this awesome daytime sighting. This is the original video, and this is the zoom in, where you can see this sphere. It looks more white than metallic, but it's really hard to tell. Again, this is a zoom in. That could just be the reflection on this object. But yeah, these objects are all over the place south of the border. What is going on? Yeah, I don't know if it's a camera artifact or if it's leaving smeary trails behind it. At one point, it seemed to blink out of existence. So I don't know if this is exactly a Booga type sphere or not. But it does look very spherical. It could be a Booga type sphere with, a switch turned on, because there is the idea, or at least I've raised the idea, that some of these metallic spheres could actually be the luminous balls of light that people see, that I myself have seen, but just with, a field activated or something like that. So could that be what we're seeing here? I'd love to know your thoughts on this. But this is shared by Jaime Mason. Oh, and by the way, a viewer of the channel commented on that Kawaka Valley sphere situation, the one where it's the metallic orb zipping through the frame. And there has been, people have caught that there is what looks like a string, possibly suspending that object from a drone. There's something coming out of it, right? And there had been a really good debunk on that, saying that, well, that string is visible even when that object is out of the frame. So thus it couldn't be a lens flare, and thus it must be a hoax, an object hanging by a wire from a drone. Whereas the, official explanation we were given by Jaime Mason and his team were that actually that's just a lens flare or a stray light phenomenon. Well, somebody in the comment section pointed out to me that actually an object can produce a lens flare when it is outside of the frame. So I looked that up, and yeah, that's true. An object can produce a lens flare even when it's still outside, when it's outside of the frame. So the Kawaka Valley sphere is not debunked. It is still very much on the table, although I would like more information on that. So just wanted to throw that out there to you guys. Meanwhile, we have more information from Matt Laszlo, who always has great stuff. And he caught up to an Ohio senator who wants drone legislation after the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base was shut down by a mystery drone in 2024. Matt Laszlo asks Bernie Marino of Ohio, did you hear about Wright-Patterson Air Force Base being closed down last year because of drone swarms? Oh, last year? Yes. Yeah, that happened last year. Yes. Are you still looking into that? No. We need to have drone legislation. Right now, the federal government considers a drone the same as a 747. We need to have drone legislation that's common sense. Okay, interesting. I don't know if he's using drone in the technical sense of the word drone, or if that's a euphemism in his mind for UFO. Kirsten Gillibrand wants to shoot these objects down. This guy wants drone legislation. It definitely sounds like this has engaged some members of Congress's attention, if nothing else. Meanwhile, Merrick von Rennenkamp has more information about the drones over Wright-Patterson. He says, new Wright-Patterson Air Force Base UAP radar tracked up to 17 exclamation point objects in the vicinity of Wright-Pat. UAP observed turning lights off on approach. Silver and cube-shaped UAP sighted at altitude. So we're not just talking about things that look like drones. Cube-shaped UFOs as well. Very intriguing. First time I've heard that in reference to the mystery drones or phenomena associated with the mystery drones. Still think it's misidentified planes, McWest. And he shows these. Screen grabs, these excerpts, remarks from Skywatch, ATCT reporting multiple primary targets on their radar. Reports coming from other bases, other base assets. Base security reports UAS are turning lights off and flying past them in close proximity. FFO has issued, well, there you go, for airfield closure. That's when they were shutting down, right, Pat? Because of these objects. Really intriguing that this is looking more and more anomalous. Now, I guess the question, did that cube and potentially that other anomalous object show up because of the mystery drones, like as a separate phenomenon, or are they part of the phenomenon, maybe controlling the mystery drones, or, motherships for those drones? I would love to know what the hell these drones are. I know you guys would too. Many of them do seem anomalous. There is something exotic going on. It fits a pattern of UFOs swarming U.S. installations, particularly U.S. Although we might be able to cover it today, it's outside of the U.S. as well. But the orbs swarmed the USS Omaha in 2004. There was a fleet of Tic Tacs near the Nimitz. They were also over the Roosevelt. I want to say that was the pyramids, the flying pyramids, but correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But yeah, there were multiple different types of UFOs swarming or over or near U.S. war fleets. Really intriguing. And now the mystery drones, anomalous craft swarming U.S. military installations. To me, that seems like it's all part of a pattern, probably orchestrated by the same group of entities or groups. I mean, that's just my take. Because it fits that pattern. But I would love to know the truth on that. So let me know your take in the comments below. Okay, here's the story on the German invasion, or the drone invasion of German bases, some of which are U.S. bases. Now, a viewer of the channel sent me this, but I've forgotten who. So let me know who to thank for this story. And I'm so sorry. People send me stuff, frequently, and I really, really appreciate it. But sometimes I get confused about who sent me what. So thank you so much, and please claim credit for it in the comments below, because I was unaware of this story. But yeah, this is from Combat Veteran News. Okay, here's the scoop.
Hundreds of drones have been spotted flying over German military installations. Just who or what could be so interested in the German military's operations? But is this just a continuation of those drone flights over U.S. military installations that, well, never seem to have stopped? I'm Paul, U.S. Army combat veteran. Let's talk about this.
Okay, I'll link to this, and you can watch the full video at your leisure, where he has a lot more information about these swarms of UFOs over these German military bases, some of which are U.S. bases. The Germans are just taking this, as actual drones with nothing anomalous attached to it. And I'm sure there are spies and there's things going on, but some of this is likely, as he says, a continuation of the mystery drone phenomenon that is not just in the U.S., it's worldwide. It shut down airports around the world. It doesn't seem to have targeted military bases in the same way and with the same fervor that it's targeted U.S. bases. But it is most definitely a worldwide phenomenon. Why does this phenomenon exist? Well, Merrick von Rennenkamp hints that he might have an explanation. Retrieved UAP at Wright-Pat/Langley Air Force Base and Avon Range. In 1978, Leonard Stringfield began documenting credible UFO retrieval claims. One source alleged that research on retrieved UAP occurs at sites that saw mystery drone incursions recently. And he names Langley, Avon Bombing Range, which is a part of the MacDill Air Force Base complex near Sebring, Florida, and at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base in Carolina. At some of these places, there were mystery drone events, and these are sites where UFOs have allegedly been brought after being retrieved. So could this be an explanation for the mystery drone activity? I mean, the mystery drone activity has been at many bases. around the world and at various airports around the world. Now, let's just take the airports, off of the running for the moment. Maybe they're making a separate point there, right? But with the military bases, could it be that all of these bases, and there have been quite a number of them, have at some point housed UFOs? Or related, interest, whether that's, storing bodies or, doing some reverse engineering or testing out some of this technology in some way related to the UFO control group in their activities. Could that be the explanation? Could it be the phenomenon sending a message to the UFO control group? Because if you remember, that was the theory that I came out with a a week or so ago, was that the mystery drone phenomenon might represent just that. Not only sending a message to the human powers of the UFO control group, but also the beings that they are working with who are ultimately calling the shots. Because we could have UFO disclosure if those beings wanted it. Heck, if any beings wanted it, right? But the UFO control group seems to have been working with beings for a long time. They assist in abductions, all sorts of stuff, right? So, we don't know the ins and outs of all of that, although there is various information out there, some of it conflicting, and, we don't know how reliable that information is. But there is definitely information about, that experiencers have reported when they have been abducted and seen the military and various officials interacting with these beings. So I reported on some of that, and I definitely encourage you to go check that out because it is very interesting. But yeah, the beings are likely the top of the pyramid when it comes to the UFO control group. So is the mystery drone phenomenon, does that represent some faction of NHI? Or even some human somewhere, some Atlanteans or something, that are trying to send a message to the UFO control group, perhaps disclose or else, to the beings behind the UFO control group. They're saying, well, you've been holding this back. You've been holding these humans back for too long. It's time to reveal the truth, or something else altogether different. Either way, Merrick von Rennenkamp seems to be suggesting that there may be a connection between sites where there have been UFO crash retrievals and instances of mystery drone activity. I'd be really interested to see if that was also the case in those German bases. Meanwhile, remember when Matthew Brown, UFO whistleblower Matthew Brown, was talking about AIs murdering people or people being murdered over AIs? Well, now Elon Musk is sharing this post talking about something very similar.
So he was quoted saying that OpenAI was committing crimes, and a month later he was dead.
That's not just it. On November 18th, New York Times named my son as custodian witness. Custodian witness is very, very important. He had the documents against OpenAI. That was on 18th, 22nd. He just came back from vacation from LA and Catalina Island the same night. They have attacked him and killed him.
Very interesting. Catalina Island, too. I asked Grok about it, and Grok said the X post by Red Panda Koala discussing Elon Musk's reaction to the death of Suchir Balaji, a former OpenAI employee and whistleblower who was found dead in his San Francisco apartment in November 2024. Balaji had recently accused OpenAI of copyright infringement in training its AI systems, and his death, initially ruled a suicide, has been contested by his family, who allege foul play due to his knowledge of sensitive information. Elon Musk, a co-founder of OpenAI before his departure, shared posts suggesting that OpenAI might have been involved in Balaji's death, adding to the speculation and controversy surrounding the incident. So yeah, I don't know if that's what Matthew Brown was talking about or not, but I don't know how many other deaths there are associated with AI. So let me know what you guys think. Meanwhile, Lou Elizondo is back after the debacle with the presentation at the UAP Disclosure Fund, the event in Congress, where he revealed a UFO photo that wasn't exactly legit. Well, he took a break and has been kind of laying low for a while, I guess focusing his attention on opening his restaurant, and, good for him. I hope to get up there someday. Well, now he's back in the public spotlight commenting on Tulsi Gabbard's comments about UFOs.
Tulsi Gabbard is a very seasoned official. She cut her teeth as a combat veteran and also formerly a field grade officer. So she's not new to the world of intelligence. And I think what she's doing is exactly her due diligence. Before she makes a public statement, she wants to make sure she speaks to all of the 16 intelligence agencies, try to remove all the stovepipes as she can, and really get to the truth of the matter. The bottom line is, look, whenever you admit to the American public that we don't have complete aerodomain awareness of our skies, we don't know what's in our skies all the time, you're also tipping your hand to your adversaries that we have vulnerability. So it's really a catch-22. Tulsi is in a really difficult spot because on one hand, she does have these outstanding questions like the New Jersey drone issue. We now know there was not prosaic explanations for what occurred with every one of those quote unquote drone sightings. But at the same time, look, you've got 16 intelligence agencies that somehow it's like herding cats. You have to try to get all of them to report information to you. Yeah. And it's one heck of a bureaucracy. It really is.
I love that. Lou Elizondo saying essentially that the mystery drone phenomenon are indeed UFOs. They are anomalous. I love it. You go, Lou. He also talks about Tulsi Gabbard trying to investigate the reality of UFOs and having to go through the intelligence agencies one by one to get there. Now, I question whether or not they're going to be very cooperative. I do think there's pro-disclosure factions within the UFO control group and likely within the intelligence agencies themselves, which is, how David Grush and others have been able to come forward. And they're coming from that arena, as is Lou. So I do think there are those pro-disclosure elements, and hopefully she'll be able to interact with them and get some actionable information out of them. But it is frustrating that she is having to go through the same system, or feels obligated to go through the same system that has been hiding this stuff and doing God knows what, some shady stuff from all accounts, to get there. Either way, really glad to see that Lou Elizondo is back where he belongs in the public spotlight, making really interesting claims like the mystery drones being anomalous. That's awesome. So let me know what you think about Lou and everything else covered today, especially this awesome owl who is very surprised to see us. Like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Buy a t-shirt, buy a coffee mug, become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really do appreciate your support. Thank you, guys. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.